Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So just days after I released my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2022, I've already begun to lose interest in one of those movies through no fault of my own.
Why do these things always happen to me?
It really doesn't surprise me that it's gotten to this point. For as much as I'm bored with the MCU, at the very least they've had a plan for the last 10 years. WB and DC, on the other hand, have shown their incompetence many times over the years, and it's led to an inconsistent track record for them, to say the least.
No shit.
They had great success with grounded standalone films like Joker, which should have inspired them to take that path with other films, but they didn't do that. But then we have the DCEU, which was basically spawned from Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. And every movie that has spun out of Man of Steel has had varying degrees of success. But if there's one thing that we learned from this convoluted mess, it's that Zack Snyder has his fan base. The three films that Zack Snyder is most directly associated with, that being Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League, were financially successful despite their divisiveness, and they were the catalyst for what I believe was the biggest fan movement ever, as it pertains to fans voicing their opinion for one man's vision. To be clear, it doesn't really matter if you personally like Zack Snyder's movies or not. The point is that there is a very large fan base who is willing to throw their support behind him no matter what, and that should be all WB needs to hear as it pertains to the direction they want to take this franchise.
Anybody care about what I want?
I do.
Shut up. Get out.
But we all know Hollywood is more concerned with sending a message than they are with pleasing fans, or with making money for that matter. Just to clarify, there was a report that came out a couple of days ago that claimed that WB was already preparing for The Flash to be a financial failure. Doesn't really inspire much confidence in the product they are creating, does it?
This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
But that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is the rumor floating around about the story that's contained within the Flash movie. Yes, you should take this with a grain of salt for now, and yes, this is a spoiler if in fact this rumor does end up being true.
I love rumors. Facts can be so misleading. Were rumors true or false are often revealing.
But truthfully, does anyone care? I don't know where the rumor originated from, but I'm reading this from a tweet from Grace Randolph. Yes, the same Grace Randolph, movie YouTuber, who blocked me on Twitter because I called her out for virtue signaling. But I digress. The rumor claims that this will in fact be the last movie for Batfleck and Henry Cavill's Superman. And Henry Cavill only appears in the form of old footage on someone's television. Now, we pretty much already knew that this was going to happen anyway, so it's not that big of a surprise. But at the very least, you would hope that WB has enough respect for the fans to at least give these versions of these characters that people love proper send-offs. But no, they don't give a fuck what you want, like typical Hollywood studios. Jack, how am I doing?
Oh, I got a live one here.
It was all smoke and mirrors. They simply allowed a version of a movie to be released that already existed and was waiting in the wings. And they should no longer be praised for that. The next part of this rumor is the part that everyone seems to be getting all up in arms about, where it says a new Justice League will be formed by the end of the Flash movie. And the new team will feature Supergirl replacing Henry Cavill's Superman, and apparently a returning Michael Keaton as Batman picks Batgirl to replace him, and that will form the new Justice League.
Now you wanna get nuts? Come on! Let's get nuts.
So basically, our new team consists of Supergirl, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and possibly Shazam. I am over fucking whelmed. This company is fucking clueless, and the DCEU needs to die a miserable death because of it. On what fucking planet do they think that Supergirl and Batgirl can carry a franchise this big? Supergirl already has a CW show that no one watches.
That's right, it stinks!
But they aren't even using that version of Supergirl because, you know, you gotta be diverse. You gotta get those kudos from those 5 people on Twitter who care about that shit. If there's one thing that Spider-Man No Way Home taught us, it's that audiences still have love for those good old-fashioned superheroes. Peter Parker still sells. Bruce Wayne still sells. I'm convinced even Clark Kent still sells. That's why Spider-Man No Way Home made more money than Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and the Eternals combined. Because deep down, no one gives a shit about those other characters.
That makes sense.
At this point, the people who do show up for these C-level superheroes are only doing it out of habit or some form of moral obligation that they have to the Marvel brand. Nobody wanted a Shang-Chi or Eternals movie, and if they say they did, then they're full of shit. Most Marvel Studio fans probably didn't even know who those characters were because most of them were probably fans since 2009.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
Not every comic book character is deserving of that kind of spotlight. Marvel is finding that out the hard way, and now DC is taking the same exact route. Because those characters that cannot carry their own franchise include the likes of Supergirl and Batgirl. Because they are supporting characters at best. Not to say they can't have interesting stories written about them, but not in this case. Because we know why these two characters were chosen, and it damn sure wasn't to tell a good story. If I had to bet, I'd say they will both be poorly written, just like most characters who only exist to fill some type of quota. And don't give me, well, you haven't seen the movie yet, so how can you complain? I don't have to see the movie when there's a built-in track record in Hollywood for doing this type of thing. And it's up to Hollywood to prove that they can do something about that. Otherwise, I have to assume that this is just going to be the same situation.
Fuck me, right?
I can see it already. Batgirl shows Michael Keaton how to fix his own Batmobile. Stop me if you've heard this before. And you know what the worst part about all this is? I don't even care. I almost didn't even make this video because I didn't want to waste my breath on this movie that will most likely be forgettable as soon as I'm done watching it. The Snyderverse is dead, the MCU as people knew it is dead, and they are systematically being replaced by the DCEU and the MCU.
I don't care!
So please, for the love of God, stop supporting these movies so they can go away. And then maybe at some point far down the line, we can get proper representations of these characters again. Because what is happening right now just isn't it. I have a room sitting directly across from me that's 75% superheroes, and I'm sitting here begging people not to support superhero movies anymore. We need to hit the reset button, we need to get away from superheroes and back to creating original content. Because if you aren't going to represent these characters and stories properly and show them the respect that they deserve, then what is the point of even making these movies?
Goddamn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
So let me know what you thought about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Right on.